I'm Sierra Talmontes, and I'm going to be giving an informative speech on police suicide awareness. I have Reese, our guest, who's filming me, and will be listening throughout the entire speech and critiquing at the end. Police officers in all departments are prone to suicide. Some officers show major warning signs that are very evident in the beginning that other officers, if they were informed, could help and prevent the suicide rates that are happening. Officers have such a hard time with their jobs because their jobs require them emotionally and physically to go on calls that are strenuous to them, obviously in emotional and physical ways. And because police officers struggle with suicide, so many struggle with suicide, there are prevention and awareness seminars that they are able to go to in all states. The Health and Effects Laboratory Division and the National Institute of Occupational Health and Safety did a study on Buffalo, New York police officers. This was a 90-day study to where throughout the whole study they monitored them throughout calls. They asked the police officers at the end of shifts how they were feeling, and throughout the whole thing they just gathered the officers' emotional and physical stresses throughout their shift week. In this, they found that the job requirements are as follows. Human misery, negative public image, death, and more negative events in any occupation in all states. And when an officer goes to a 911 emergency call, he has no idea what he is going into, and he has to be prepared for any of the things listed that could happen to him or her. And when they come home and they're having to deal with that, it can get difficult if they don't know how to deal with it or don't have the proper resources in talking about their emotions and what they're going through. The study went on to show that 32% of relationships of police officers is the reason they commit suicide, because their relationship is either ending in divorce, or they are not having a backbone in their life to where they can come home to, so they're single. Relationships are what police officers need when they come home off their shift to be able to have a balanced mental and physical health life. The second reason being legal trouble, and that was being at 15% why police officers commit suicide. And the third being psychological problems at 12% at why police officers commit suicide. And the warning signs are clinical depression, personal significant loss, drug or alcohol abuse, previous suicide attempts, and marked negative behavior by an above-ranked officer. So in the police division, officers that are above another officer, they can write negative marks on a report for them, showing that they are getting more and more depressed, they're getting more angry, they just show negative signs in their behavior while they're on shift, and that really does help some officers. Some officers take leave after this has been marked, some officers get to talk to counselors, and some officers get to go to those seminars. Unfortunately, some officers don't, and all these warning signs go missed. And that's the police officers that unfortunately get marked into the statistics of suicide. In conclusion, police officers struggle with suicide. They have this problem because their job is so strenuous, because all the requirements on a 911 call are so strenuous that when they come home, it's hard to deal with. When they're at work, it's hard to deal with. And people should be aware that they are struggling with this, that they are humans, and that what we're asking them to do is to go above and beyond for the public, and we should be more sympathetic towards that. In their daily shift, most people could not handle what they see. And I know this firsthand because my fiance is a police officer, and when he comes home, I do get to see that he's exhausted mentally and physically. And for me, that just shows how important it is that I'm here for his backbone. So police suicide awareness is important. And I just want to get the message out there that it is happening. Thank you.